Hi, welcome to the Notorious DID. This is Solara. Today we are honoring DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder Awareness Day. In honor, we are going to cover the history of dissociative identity disorder, and we are also going to do that through our different personalities. To us, there is no bigger honor than for each of us, well, several of us, I should say, because it won't be all of us, but several of us to get to speak out for those who have DID. It's a very important time. Its awareness is very important, and we are honored to be able to talk to you about that today. Dissociative identity disorder dates back to the Paleolithic period cave paintings. In the images of shamans from around 10,000 BC. The first documentation is considered to be in 1584. La Possession Jean Ferry, which was a recorded exorcism. Don't get the wrong idea from that. Remember the time that this was dated and the understanding that they may or may not have had. The details were later found to match that of today's dissociative identity disorder. For those of us with DID, it may appear to be a bit insulting, but you have to take into account, as I mentioned, the timing. I also take into account that I did have a past friend that assumed we were possessed. So obviously it does occur. Jean Ferry was a 25-year-old Dominican nun. She wrote her accounts on her exorcism that took place in Mons, France, in 1584 and 1585. There were elements that studies say identify fragmentation and possible childhood trauma to signal possible DID. Hello, I'm Valpray. I will be picking up from here. Me and Solara are currently cook on, but when the pastor's switching out, that's not of importance today. We are speaking Jean Ferry, and to go on with her story, one of her altars was Mary Magdalene. She would assist during times of crisis. She also, unfortunately, had several altars that were inner demons, which created a lot of chaos in her life. These demons would create self-mutilation and eating disorders. Further problems she had were headaches, sleeping disorders, abysmal sadness, conversion blindness. At times she was mute. There were inexplicable losses of objects and finding them. She would have amnesia episodes. She would experience different contortions of facial expressions. She was believed to have a child or children altars as well. The list that I've read off are what they've drawn from to gather a conclusion of possible dissociative identity disorder. with her particular case. During this time, there were no specific understandings of such. So a lot of times, those with DID would be considered possessed, and exorcisms would be taken into account. Hi, this is Reed. I am glad that I have gotten to participate in this with you. Learning about DID is a very important thing to do, and I am glad to be here to explain further history. In 1791, the first detailed account of dissociative identity disorder, then called exchanged personality, was about a 20-year-old German woman. She regularly changed between a middle-class German woman and a French aristocrat. Obviously, when she was a French aristocrat, she could speak French. This was a language that she had not spoken prior. The French aristocrat could also speak German with a French accent. Eberhard Jamilan. Her original German counterpart knew nothing of the other personality. Around the same time, Dr. Benjamin Rush collected, gathered, and researched cases believed to be exchanged personality. Hello, this is Barbara Jean Maxwell. I wanted to come out and do a little bit of this as well. So I will be the one who is reading from here. Dr. Benjamin Rush was a chief surgeon with the Continental Army in America. He is recognized as the father of American psychology. He called it doubling of consciousness in his published 1812 book, Medical Inquiries and Observations upon Disease of the Mind. Doubling of consciousness at the time was speculated to be a connection between two hemispheres of the brain. The case of Mary Reynolds, published in 1816 by Dr. Samuel Latham Mitchell in Medical Repository, was a very influential early case, and the first to be called multiple personality disorder. Mary Reynolds was born in England in 1785. She moved with a family to Meadville, Pennsylvania. She was shy, very religious, and displayed melancholy and solidarity. I am reading from a script that Val wrote, so I am sorry for my complications. But we'll carry on now. At 19, she became blind or deaf for 6 weeks. 3 weeks later, she slept 18 to 20 hours and awoke not knowing things she originally knew.